the thigh points, and the shoulder points together from a square-like structure within your human physical body, signifying the boundaries and limitations to what you will accept and allow in your world, as only that which assist and support you in remaining a consciousness structural resonance system, and what you will not accept and allow in your world, as those that may possibly influence or threaten your existence as a consciousness structural resonance system. The square-like structure formed as the connections between the thigh points and the shoulder points also signifies the controlled and maintained world you will allow and accept and will be able to handle as you experience yourself in this world. Therefore, human beings' worlds are extensively small, only allowing and accepting in their world what they have the ability to have direct control and maintenance over, to make sure they don't lose it or deviate in any way from who they are within this system as a consciousness structural resonance system, leaving no room or allowance for expansion, but remain in the self-imprisoned boundaries and limitations of the square-like structure within you that is of consciousness systems, in this way protecting and controlling and maintaining yourself and remaining who you are within this system as a consciousness structural resonance system. This giving you the ability also to control your world and the rest you accept and allow within it. This square-like structure formed within you is what contains you within the limitations and boundaries of who you are within the system, carrying forth the sins of the fathers as those that have gone before you, ensuring you don't deviate from the system of existence, but remain enslaved and controlled for the remainder of your life here on earth. The thigh points and shoulder points, which contain all the generations that have gone before your structural resonance designs, to ensure you remain as limited and bound as they have been within their small controlled and maintained existences on earth to prepare the way before you and successfully and proudly, according to your parents and family, becoming an enslaved consciousness structural resonance system exactly as they have. And this is what the square-like structure within, and as you consist of which is formed by the support foundation design in the thigh points and the survival skills system in your shoulder points. Wonderful. Looks like I'm once again only covering this 112 shoulder points for now. It's quite extensive explanation such points within and as the human physical body, and so in part 2, phase 6, I will be continuing explaining the 13 points exactly as I have explained the point above. Finished off within my previous writings with the reason for the establishment for relationships being that of the consciousness structural resonance systems as that which human beings have accepted and allowed themselves to become and define who they are within the systems. Necessity for survival. As two partners support each other in surviving as consciousness structural resonance systems within this world within such relationships, whether male-female, gay or lesbian relationships. Veno structural resonance, part 2, phase 6. Transcribed and typed by Veno through the interdimensional portal. Date, July 22, 2007. Finished off within my previous writings with the reason for the establishment for relationships being that of the consciousness structural resonance systems as that which human beings have accepted and allowed themselves to become and define who they are within the systems. Necessity for survival. As two partners support each other in surviving as consciousness structural resonance systems within this world, within such relationships, whether male-female, gay or lesbian relationships. Within the relationships, male-female, gay or lesbian, trying to either fix/mend their relationship with their mother or father individually or to fix/mend their parents' relationship in its entirety, and doing this through becoming, reenacting, and transforming themselves into both their parents and their parents' relationship. Fascinating. Let's continue with the slavery system, the structural resonance, the more quaint way of defining it, within and as all of humanity. The design of the structural resonance in the human physical body. Body, front. 13. Upper arm points. The enslavement control system, beautifully exemplified by those who were incarnated here on earth during the Egyptian era. Traveling back in time to the Egyptians within Egypt once more, Remember the nose point explanation together with the pyramids? Within the upper arm points exist human beings' enslavement control system, which has been passed down from generation to generation for eons of time. Yet the Egyptians portrayed and exemplified the slavery of humanity in a very grotesque yet specific display. Before I continue explaining the enslavement control system's significance within the upper arm points of human beings' physical body in today's world/times, we'll bring the Egyptian era here and first start T here. Right, so during the Egyptian era here on Earth, it was only the pharaoh, his/her queen/king and his/her multiple wives/men of stature that wore the golden bracelet on their upper arms. While the holy ones, the pharaoh, his/her queen/king and his/her multiple wives/men of stature, indulge in the pleasures of life within their kingdom manifested on earth specially for them, their slaves are whipped and tortured continuously to further establish the pharaoh, his/her queen/king and his/her multiple wives/men of stature, kingdom on earth to present and experience their worthiness and holiness during their reign on earth. Thus, their kingdom was built and manifested according to their stature's expression here on earth, the image and likeness of themselves portrayed in the manifestations built for them by their slaves. The golden bracelets worn by the holy ones was the significant indication of their enslavement and control within and as the consciousness systems of existence. The holy ones' slaves, those who were continuously whipped and tortured when building and manifesting the holy one's kingdom, during this period's enslavement and control within and as the consciousness systems of existence, was becoming the actual manifestation of slaves to the holy ones. The Egyptians were the manifested example of the entire consciousness enslavement and control system, which has now manifested within the upper arm points of all human beings in existence as the enslavement control system. Allow me to explain. The holy ones, the pharaoh, his/her queen/king and his/her multiple wives/men of stature, were the examples as complete manifestations of consciousness systems in existence, and the slaves of the holy ones were the examples of man as slaves to consciousness systems in complete manifestation. The wearing of the golden bracelets on the upper arms was the symbol of those that enslave and control the holy ones as consciousness systems, the enslaved and controlled, the slaves as manifested example of man's enslavement to consciousness systems in existence. Understand that the holy ones were also enslaved and controlled by consciousness systems, yet, during each era, there are those that stand completely as the manifested example of consciousness systems, and those that actually become the slaves as presentation/example of man's enslavement and control to consciousness systems. And so it is so beautifully portrayed during the Egyptian era, man's enslavement and control to consciousness systems. The Egyptians during this era merely portrayed what each human being individually actually stands as, and have allowed and accepted themselves to become slaves controlled by consciousness systems. The Egyptians portrayed the enslavement of man to consciousness systems in existence. Thus, human beings, I suggest you discontinue for a moment in trying to figure out and delve into all sorts of conspiracy theories regarding how the pyramids were built and start looking at history for what it's really standing as and for, showing humanity exactly what has been allowed and accepted by each throughout existence, which is the enslavement and control of man to consciousness systems in existence, which is still allowed and accepted to this day because history has been misinterpreted greatly. Children are taught history in school as a subject, becoming and remaining subject to consciousness systems within them and within existence, transforming history into a fascinating and intriguing subject in school, for instance, instead of seeing or realizing the truth of what history is actually revealing to humanity to this day. Within the subject of history in school, the emphasis is diverted to the beings who lived and the story they left behind, and the magnificence of their particular life/era in which they existed, instead of seeing the truth, what exactly the Egyptians portrayed and stood as and for which, yet again, is the enslavement and control of man to consciousness systems. In today's world/times, human beings have merely modernized and evolutionized their enslavement and control to consciousness systems. Nothing has changed in terms of man's enslavement and control to consciousness systems since the Egyptian era. Therefore, the enslavement control system within human beings' upper arm points, which is the exact same manifested design within all of humanity's physical bodies, signifies man's enslavement and control to consciousness systems, and still exists there, within all of humanity, because it's specifically locked into the unconscious mind. Here is the system that has all of humanity enslaved and controlled to consciousness systems within themselves and within existence. The current status of the world is but the manifested projected display of who and what human beings have accepted and allowed themselves to become within themselves. Because this particular system is locked into your unconscious mind, you already possess this enslavement control system within your upper arm points in your physical body, as your human physical body develops within the mother's womb. Therefore your, and including the rest of the world's enslavement control to consciousness systems, will merely be accepted and allowed within yourself and all others without you even knowing it/realizing it/seeing it, because it's part of the accepted and allowed definition of who you are within the system. And this is partly the reason why man's enslavement and control to consciousness systems have not changed for eons of time, because this particular enslavement control system within the upper arm points of the human physical body have been manifested within humans for eons of time on Earth, since the beginning. The Egyptians merely portrayed it perfectly, and here I am explaining it to you perfectly. Thus, all of humanity is collectively allowing and accepting their own individual enslavement and control to consciousness systems, including all of humanity's, within the manifestation of the enslavement control system, situated in the upper arm points of the human physical body. That's the only possible way the continuation of man's enslavement and control to consciousness systems is able to continue in existence. If all of humanity continue to accept and allow their self-defined existences as consciousness structural resonance systems, and don't realize the true significance of history, the enslavement and control will just continue and continue and continue as it has already for eons of time. Don't get excited. It's not going to be as simple as merely removing the enslavement control system within your upper arm points and then it's done. No, it's going to be a lengthy process that requires self-driven passion and determination and patience. The reason for this being a lengthy process is that the enslavement control system consists of all the consciousness systems existing within you, as that which you have used to define who you are within the system. The enslavement control system holds all that controls and enslaves you within the system, be it family, relationships, sex, money, beliefs, etc., including your thoughts, feelings, and emotions as consciousness systems that exist within you. The enslavement control system of your structural resonance merely indicates how deeply embedded you are within the enslavement and control of yourself within the system. Understand that the enslavement control system within your upper arm points is your entire consciousness structural resonance system, meaning that it's going to be a process disengaging and releasing yourself from the enslavement and control of consciousness systems within you as your structural resonance, which you have used to define who you are within the system. You are going to disengage and release yourself from who you are within the system completely to have the ability to realize who you really are. The first step to take is forgiveness with corrective action. See articles on website for further details. And thus, here is the upper arm points enslavement control system explained. The system that ensures human beings accepted and allowed enslavement and control to consciousness systems within themselves, manifested as the structural resonance within, and as them which consist of multiple consciousness systems which humanity used to define who they are within the system. 14. Elbow points. The elbow points represent your structural resonance control direction antennas. The control direction antennas is that which control the direction you move within the white light grid-line structure of the world according to your conscious and subconscious mind personalized and individualized development and design during the experience of yourself here on Earth. It's fascinating because your pre-programmed life experience is greatly dependent on the relationships you form during the experience of yourself here in this world. Therefore, the control direction antennas within the elbow points of your human physical body is able to be referred to as the choice system. The definition of a pre-programmed life would be as follows. Human beings are in fact consciousness structural resonance systems consisting of a conscious, subconscious, and unconscious mind. Usually a dimensional being had the ability to choose/select the family they'd wish to be born into, and then according to that your life experience here on Earth will be programmed, infusing within your entire human physical body as you develop within the mother's womb and the moment you are born, locking into the white light grid-line structure, securing your preordained future. The programming of your life experience here on Earth has got greatly to do with the forming of relationships, as I have mentioned before, whether sexual or formal. Because it's in the forming of relationships that human beings direct themselves accordingly in this world. It's fascinating. Because the forming of relationships charge your emotional and feeling and/or sexual systems which consciousness systems use to generate itself with, and according to what is generated or amplified, the being will direct themselves accordingly. Have a look at what drives you, what directs you, what the apparent choices you make in life is dependent on. Relationships, charging and amplifying specific thoughts, feelings, and emotions. The predictability of each human being's life experience is absolute and specific, because all and everything of human beings consist of systems, programmed systems which are limited. Therefore, in terms of programming your life here on Earth, beforehand is quite simple because you are placed within a systematic existence, where all human beings live a pre-programmed/preordained life. Placing a program within an already designed program within which other programs already experience themselves, you will be designed according to the program design that already exists to be able to blend and mold yourself according to entirety of the already designed program to have the ability to exist and survive normally. It's not about you changing the already program designed. How the choice system is designed within yourself and within the white light grid-line structure of your pre-programmed life experience, giving you the hope/perception/belief/idea that you apparently have choice and are in control of yourself and your world is as follows. Your pre-programmed life experience here on Earth is already manifested and infused within yourself and within the white light grid-line structure of the world. The designers of consciousness systems within and as human beings and within the world design the choice system to give human beings the perception/belief/idea that they are in directive control of themselves and their world because they apparently have choice. The choice system consists of the following. Together with your already manifested pre-programmed life here on Earth, which is locked in and infused the moment you are born, exists a possible illusionary alternative direction. Meaning you will during the experience of yourself in this world along with those you have formed relationships with, stand before a crossroad. You're either going to go left or right. The one direction, let's say going left for instance, represents the already pre-programmed path you are required/preordained to take to remain within the system as a consciousness structural resonance system. The other direction, going right for instance, would be the possible illusionary alternative direction inserted along with the manifestation and infusion of your pre-programmed life experience here on Earth. Because your life is already preordained/pre-programmed, you will most certainly direct yourself and move along the left path. Yet the right possible illusionary alternative direction path exists for you to actually believe that you made the choice to direct yourself along the left path, when in truth you were already pre-programmed beforehand to do so. Have a look. The forming of relationships during the experience of yourself in this world is what is pre-programmed, because it is in the forming of relationships that you direct yourself accordingly in this world along your pre-programmed life experience to remain a consciousness structural resonance system within the system. That's all the designers were concerned about, having you remain a consciousness structural resonance system as a power source for consciousness systems, and that's it, people of the world. The best way to do this was pre-program the relationships you form and develop within your pre-programmed life experience. Present you with the illusion of choice that you are apparently directing yourself. Keep you occupied along the way, e.g. education consisting of a process lasting half your life experience on Earth, survival consisting of forcing you to work and earn money, sex consisting of you producing more power source systems for consciousness systems referred to as starting, a family, and religion/spirituality consisting of believing there's someone out there greater and more powerful than you are.